wanted to talk about something that may not be entirely comfortable. And if we want to grow, we can't always be talking about unicorns farting rainbows. It's great to envision a future that you want to create and to be as enthusiastic as you possibly can about it. But that's not necessarily where the growth is. The growth is usually in the breakdowns and in the resulting breakthroughs. And you can find those breakthroughs really quickly if you get good at it. The thing that I've noticed is this, there's a lot of things I do without ever expecting anything in return. I give to charitable organizations. I support certain creators that I like, as I'm sure you do. I give people in my life a lot of time and space to talk and work out their problems and share with me what's going on in their life. And I really practice conversational generosity, something Dale Carnegie talks about in How to Win Friends and Influence People. There are many things I do from a generous spirit, and I'm really not looking for anything in return. But then there are also situations where I am expecting something. Maybe not a lot, but I'm still expecting some kind of courtesy or favor to be returned. And the interesting part is, if you go into any of my books, in the back, you will inevitably see a long list of people that I thank. I may not be personally connected to them. I may not have ever met them in real life and shaken their hand. And yet I've learned a lot from these people. Even in the new music industry, you can see me thanking people like Bob Baker and Tom Hess and Ariel Hyatt and Derek Sivers. These are people that I looked up to and still do in many ways. I learned so much from them, and I find they've added a lot of value to my life. And they've added a lot of value to me in my career pursuits and my business pursuits, everything that I've done to this point. And yet, what I'm seeing out there is I'm in touch with pretty much every podcast that I've ever been mentioned on, which is not many. And I can even recall a circumstance where, it's not the guy's fault, but he was sitting there going yeah, dang, I can't remember his name. Look, we're all human. That happens to me too. I've given as much credit as I possibly can to all the people that I could possibly remember or think of that contributed to me, and yet I probably have still forgotten. And I think that's where we gotta let bygones be bygones, right? But there are people who've literally built on the things that I've done, whether it's my books or my blog posts or my podcast. And some have built on it without knowing it, right? So if they don't know it, then there's really nothing we can do about that. But others have very knowingly built on something that I created. And it's good. I want to see iterations on what else people come up with. Better music books for musicians, or better coaching programs, or better podcasts, or better business models. I'd love to see all that, right? And yet this is where I give thanks to every single author, speaker, coach, mentor, blogger, podcaster, YouTuber that I can think of that's contributed to me. And those people don't so much as thank anyone, let alone me, for building upon something that I worked my butt off to do. It's not like I got started yesterday. Some people get that confused, you started your podcast in 2016, that must feel like a while. No. I started podcasting in 2009, and I started doing interviews 2004. Even before that, I was already starting to serve musicians in a local community capacity. Okay? So it's not like this just emerged out of nowhere. This has been a passion and an interest, something that I've pursued over the long haul. I've really invested myself into this. So I didn't just spring up yesterday. And yet I think there are people that have built on what I've done as much as without ever sending a thank you note. That would be unimaginable to me. Just saying. For me, that would be unimaginable. I would even suspect there are people owing me royalties. Now, I'm not asking for any money, right? That's not why we're in this conversation. If you feel led in that direction, if spirit moves in that direction, then I would ask for a generous contribution. Absolutely. But if that's something you're not moved to do, forget it. But do you owe me at least a thank you note for the hard work I've put into laying the groundwork for you to exist? That's the question, because I do it. I demonstrate it every single day in my work. I give thanks to the people who taught me what they taught me, and the concepts, and everything they gave me. The life I now have is because of what they did. And for some people, the life they now have is because of what I did, and they don't see it. So do you see who's helped you on your journey? And do you thank them? And if not, why not? It's coming up fast and there's no time. Clean Slate 2024 is coming up fast, February 16th in Victoria, BC. You don't want to miss out on this incredible live music and multimedia event with a dosage of inspiration to light you up creatively and to have an amazing 2024. Once again, that's Clean Slate. You don't want to miss out. Go to davidandrewweeb.com and you'll either have the option to get updates, win tickets, or buy tickets as soon as they go on sale. So once again, I invite you to go to davidandrewweeb.com and get your tickets right away. See you there.